Hey, hello you beautiful people. Let's do a quick update on LTC's price chart and see what happened. And I do think everything is sort of kind of starting to go according to what we talked about in the previous video. Now, in case you haven't watched that update, let me just be very clear. In my opinion, since in this whole move right in here, starting from the lows to about the current point, we are having a bit of a slow move on the upside. Let's just real quick measure it timing wise from this point to around the current area. This is taking us almost 1500 candlesticks on H1 time frame, and on the other hand, this move on the downside only happened in about 200 candles, and I think we can all clearly see this whole thing is like a much stronger of a phase on the downside relative to this move up, meaning what? Odds are this is actually a correction structure, and after it's over, we are going to have one more move on the downside in Litecoin. And for example, whether in it we are going to take the lowest low about $45, or maybe we're just going to get quite close to it, and that will be at our final low. And then from here, we get a very strong bounce back. You know what? Fair enough. That can be all for debate. The point that I'm trying to make is this: right now, as long as I'm not proven otherwise, I am going to treat this whole phase right in here as just a correction structure up. Having said this, this doesn't necessarily mean that I believe from the current point we're gonna start going down big time. No, in fact, because I'm not really able to argue that this structure is a 5-8, let's just say this: because finding an impulse in here is a bit of a challenge, odds are that this whole move starting from this point actually to about here is part of a correction structure, maybe even into a larger degree wave X, and this whole move up, which again I still believe is a corrective movement, is going to continue a little bit more, and I do think it's going to be in form of most likely an ABC, and then maybe from these areas we're gonna start going down in Litecoin. Now, why do I say from this area? Because you see, when we got this move down, this actually happened a little bit too fast, and as a result of it, we did create a gap right in here. And since I believe gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled, and also I think this move in Litecoin does have a bit more legs, well, okay, makes sense to consider this area as one likely target. Now, let's just go real quick around this area. You see, for an ABC zigzag, we're gonna have sub waves like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a correction for B. Let's just call it an ABC. You can also have a WXY, maybe even a triangle, not really that important. And then another 5 up into C. And if I just go on the live chart, zoom in a bit more. Okay, I believe the last time that we talked about Litecoin, it was right around the lows, and the idea was that hopefully from here we're gonna start going up in an impulsive manner. First things first, I do think there's actually a good chance in here we are dealing with starting from this high like an ABC in form of a running flat structure, and on a higher degree I am really hoping that this is going to be a wave 1 correction for wave 2 to about this point as opposed to this thing, and then this is going to be a good, strong, solid move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. Now, what's going to be the invalidation point of this important scenario suggesting R1 to actually started already? You probably know it. It's going to be naturally taking the low of our wave 2 right around this area. Let's even consider this thing about, let's say, 52.5 bucks. So under any kind of circumstances, if you want to say this scenario is happening, you do not want to see from here, or maybe like just a teeny tiny bit higher, a strong move down in order to take the loss. When we take the loss, at that point, count on maybe another move down in order to also take this thing as well, and then maybe we're gonna start going up once more. But as long as we're not doing that, let's be a bit optimistic and question, when is it going to be that we are going to be able to be a little bit more optimistic than right here, right now? You probably know it when we get from here, hopefully a bit of a move up in order to take this important high. Why is this important? From actually two very important perspectives. Number one, from classic technical analysis perspectives, meaning support and resistances, you see, if we manage to once more go back above this level and take this high, it's going to be essentially confirmed that, yep, we at least reclaimed the higher band of this important level once more. Angle number two, which is actually more important than classic TA side, is actually coming down to classic patterns. You see, I'm not really sure if you're a big fan of them, but if you are, I think you can argue that we are having in here a beautiful head and shoulder structure, a possible head and shoulder. Why am I saying a possible head and shoulder? Because this thing right in here is not really confirmed yet. You need to wait a bit more and see a confirmed break of the next line. Now, at this point, you're obviously going to say, well, okay, isn't this the higher band of this important level, our neckline at the same time, and aren't we above it? The answer, yes. However, if you want to say the neckline is broken and the head and shoulder is confirmed, you need to see an initial move above the neckline. So far, so good. And then a pullback, also take, and then you want to see a continuation of the move up. And once more, it comes down to this height, because the moment that we take it, this head and shoulder is going to be confirmed. And what's going to be a likely target for it? Let's just measure it from this point, to about the highs and put this thing at our supposedly breaking point. This is giving you somewhere around like a $58 target, but I do think we're going to have the legs to go just a little bit higher than that, maybe to somewhere around $63, $64, and maybe the $58 area is just going to be the end of our A leg, and then we're going to have a slow and choppy move into B and then another move up into C. For now, let's just not consider these moves. Let's just focus on this important level and also this important neckline. If we confirm that we have broken it, great sign. At that point, our move up can continue, maybe for another bare minimum 10%. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Litecoin's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.